All right, so my thought of the week is I know we talking about music today, so my thought of the week is something related to that. February 6th, 2026, J. Cole released his alleged final album, The Fall Off. I don't think it's gonna be his final album, but you know, that's to be determined. 24 songs, two disc album, disc 29 and disc 39. I feel that so my take on the album now, and that it's been almost 2 weeks. Uh, it's kind of the same thing that happens with J. Cole, and people that listen to his music or people that kind of expect something out of him. He said that he was working on his album for like 10 years. He had the
This
concept
last
in mind.
this last album?
Yeah, he said like 10 years ago is he knew that like he wanted to start kind of like working towards the album. Now he has released other albums within those 10 years, but
Okay.
the concepts of this album and all of that, and knowing it was going to be his last, allegedly,
Okay.
is is yeah. So anyway, my view on it, my take on it is that I love it. I can't speak for anybody else, but as a huge J. Cole fan, as a huge hip hop fan, and J. Cole being one of my favorite rappers over the last, 10, 15 years. Uh, I love the album. I think that people are giving him the same type of hate that they always give him. They expect J.
Mm,
Cole to make this album with like a bunch of commercial hits. They
mm.
expect him to come back with like club bangers and stuff like that. And if you've been a fan of J. Cole, you know that that's not him. He doesn't make music to appeal to the masses.
So
He
he's
makes
still being true to himself.
he's always being true to himself and the type of music he wants to make, and the type of production, the type of content and like lyricism. And this album is just like peak of what he's been doing the last 10, 15 years of his career. I it's been other albums where he's had those like commercial hits, and I'm sure off of this album it's going to be a couple of them, but he doesn't he doesn't approach his music from that type of perspective. Like, make this gonna be a commercial hit or this gonna be, he just make what he make. And if it turns out to be that way, cool. If not, J. Cole knows that his fans, if you listen to him, if you rock with him, you're gonna rock with him either way.
Got it.
And I really appreciate this album. I think it's great. Um, and I think that if you are a hip hop fan, I get it. Like, not everybody appeals to everybody, but if you're a hip hop fan, if you like J. Cole, I think that you're gonna like this album. From what I've been seeing from people that are J. Cole fans, they feel the way I feel.
Mm.
They like the album. I can understand some people, even if they are J. Cole fans, being somewhat disappointed because they were probably thinking that this album was gonna be even much more than what it was. So like I
Yeah.
get that. But I think we have to just start appreciating music for what it is. And this J. Cole album is great. I can't stop listening to it. And some of my friends feel the same way. Pre-sale tickets for the Fall Off tour went on sale yesterday, and we got 3 tickets. Me, Aaliyah, and Cam. So for those that don't know, my brother-in-law is a big J. Cole fan, and he's done a lot for us. He takes a lot of pictures of my wife, or he's taking like maternity pictures for her, and we go on family vacations. He always taking pictures of the family and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And we've slipped him some money, by surprise, uh,
Yeah.
but like he family, so he don't even think of that when he's doing that. But we know he's a huge J. Cole fan. We want treat him. So we got him a ticket to go to the Dallas show September 19th this year with us.
And he know you did?
He
You told him
does.
already? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because I'm about to say, if he don't know, he's gonna find out now.
If you don't know, you're gonna find out now. But he does know. Me, him, and Leah have a group chat,
Okay,
and
alright.
we told him to make sure he, could be off, and it's a Saturday, so he'll be off. He said he go take off that Friday before that too. Um,
Cool.
so I'm out you, brother. He put in a chat after we got the tickets.
Mhm.
Cam joke a lot, so I don't know how serious he was, but he put in a chat. He said, "Man, I'm about to cry." And I'm gonna have to check. I feel like he probably really did get
He
emotional.
probably Yeah, yeah, he is. He's sensitive on the slick, on
But
low key sensitive.
yeah. But yep,
Oh,
I'm
cool.
excited. September, going to the show. Same I think it's at AT&T Stadium, same place we caught Kendrick on the GNX tour last year.
Okay.
So yep, that's
Good.
my thought.
Good. Okay, so my thought of the week is, and I have a title. My peace is more valuable than being right. Um, and this only pertains to my relationship with your daddy, our marriage, because it's crazy. Like, he is the one that I have more conflict with. And I think I don't understand that dynamic. Like, I know how to resolve issues with my children. I know how to resolve issues with um my siblings, my friends. It's just when it comes to my husband, I could stay mad at him for days, like but anyway, and months ago I was like, "Hey, this is not normal. Let's stop normalizing arguments." So, anyway, I've come to the conclusion that my peace, like I said, is more valuable than being right. Because although I am right 98% of the time, I it no longer I no longer think about being right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I'm right. Now it's about an understanding. We have to have an understanding um in resolving the conflict. Because, like I told you, I would go from being shut down for 2 to 3 days. And now it's only like a few minutes. I can't I can't stay mad at him. I have to resolve it. And
Mhm.
that's only come through talking to God. When I finally realized when I would go to God, be like, "Oh, Lord, this man, this husband of mine, um, but once I think switch my motives to from complaining about what he's doing, I'm more trying to understand
Mhm.
instead of blaming. Now I'm more about understanding. And I understand now. It's just who he is. We've talked about how his communication is horrible most of the time, but he's getting better. And I believe it's from my perspective changing.
Mhm.
He is who he is. I am who I am. Now we just have to learn to get some understanding and truly agree to disagree. And that's it.
Mhm.
So, like I said, I've gone from 2 to 3 days walking around the house, not saying anything, to now like 15 minutes. Just the other day, um, he came to me. I didn't tell you. He came to me about the remember the conversation about Terrebonne being
Yeah.
built for whites?
Mhm.
Why you came and brought that up again?
That was from what? That was for like that had to be about 5, 6 years ago.
5, 6 years ago. Yes.
Wait, what we
So
was coming back from? We was coming back from the city.
no, I think we were coming back from Mississippi. When I think you met the boys, or you went pick up the boys or something. Was
No, it
it?
was
No?
nah, it was me, you, and Daddy. We was coming back from somewhere. Oh, we might have been. Yeah. I think we had rode out there to drop him off,
Yeah.
and then we was coming back.
And then on the way back, yep. Yep,
Yeah,
that's what it was.
cause y'all was
And
still living in Thibodeau then.
yeah, we were in Thibodeau.
Mhm.
And and that has come up maybe a few months ago, just talking about, yeah, when we were
Mhm.
with you. Yeah. But no, but the other day I was in the room. He was in the living room watching TV and looking at YouTube videos. So there's this white guy that he looks at that's that kind of educate other white people on Black history.
Yeah.
So he came in there. He said, "Look," "Look, I just want to show you what I meant. What I meant by Terrebonne wasn't built for white people." So I'm looking at the video. He's like, "Yeah, look, look, look." So the man talking, "Yeah, here it come, here it come." And so the guy said something. I heard him. And then he was like, "Yeah, that's what I mean." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I didn't hear him say anything about any schooling being built for whites or Blacks. So I didn't get where he was coming from. And then of course he got upset because I didn't understand what he
Cause you
was
didn't
saying.
understand what the dude was saying, and what he was trying to.
I understand what the guy was saying. I just didn't understand his connection,
Oh, yeah.
him connecting his point to what the
Mhm.
guy was saying. So I'm like, okay. So he got upset. He walked out. And I'm like, ugh. And, I'm frustrated because, like I said, that is communication. But he came back in and said something like, "You really mad at me?" And I'm like, I was really just frustrated. So then he left out again. And then maybe about 10 minutes later, I called his phone. I said, "Come here." He was like, "What?" I said, "Come see." And when he came in, he just stood at the door. And I said, "Come here." And then he started smiling, and then we just started laughing. Like,
Nice.
I'm like, "Hey, I'm not trying to be upset. Like, if you want me to understand something, just tell me."
Mhm.
I didn't get that connection. I didn't
Mhm.
get it. And your daddy always assumed that what he says that I should automatically understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
But we laughed and we talked and we kissed and we made up. And that was only within about 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm like, I
Mhm.
can't I can't even stay mad at him anymore. And that's all because of God.
Mhm.
My peace is more valuable than me being right.
Hmm.
So that's my thought.
Interesting. Oh man.
Yeah, we talked about this. I told you
Uh,
what you need to do
yeah. Mhm.
because you are like I was. So that's why I can give you advice about
But
how.
check this out, man. You in your mid-50s. I'm,
That means nothing.
essentially like I'll be 34 this year.
That means
So
nothing.
I got another 20 years to like I was joking. I was joking.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to help, like I told you before, I'm going to help compact Aaliyah and the kids.
Mm.
Uh, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so like your thought of the week was about music, and it ties into our topic this week. And the topic is,
Music that shaped me.
yes. So I'm going to start. I am not,
Oh, hold up,
I'm
man.
not a huge, huh?
Before we get to that, welcome back to Making Groceries podcast with this episode 3.
Episode 3. Yes.
Making waves. But like we just said, the music that shaped me is what we talk about today. So thank y'all for listening in, and hope y'all can take something from this episode.
And like I was saying, I am not a big music buff. Like, I listen to music. I have music downloaded on my phone. But, your dad was the one who, we talked about this the other day, who bought all the sound system, because he liked to listen to music. And I think about your Auntie Lynn. Auntie Lynn is the same way. Like, she was the one, not your Uncle Lee. Your Auntie Lynn was the one who bought all the music equipment, because Lynn loves music. And I just see that I love music, but not like a lot of people do. I was just telling Mona, she was talking about going to a concert to see, I think, Sade. And I'm like, I'm good. I went to see Maxwell, and I went to see New Edition. Like, I'm just not a big music buff,
Mm.
But I do love to love some types of music, a lot of types of music, but it just depends on my mood, what I feel like listening to, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I could listen to some rap when I'm in my car. I just want upbeat. I want to listen to rap, old school rap, of course. Or sometimes I want to listen to R&B. And sometimes I want to listen to gospel. It just depends. But let's take it back. My daddy was a big music buff. He loved music. And back then it was 8-track tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-track tapes. And I can remember distinctly listening to, when we were driving on West Park, and I'm trying to think, maybe I don't know where we were going, maybe to the mall. And I distinctly remember exactly where I was. You know where Burger King is?
On Park?
Burger King on Park? Yeah. Where Canada's? Where
Yeah.
Canada, right before Canada's? Right there in that area. And I know it wasn't Burger King then, but I don't know. I remember right there in that area, driving, listening to, my mama had it on. Was it my mom? I don't know if my mom or my daddy. Prince. We were listening to Prince. Little Red Corvette. I distinctly remember that.
This was
And
in
I
the
had to
70s?
be because I had to be maybe about 7, 8, 7 to
Okay.
10, something like that. And then another, now my daddy listened to all kind of music, but we drove to California when I was around that age again. Maybe it's just my memories don't go that far back, maybe.
Which I went out to California for.
To visit. We went to Disneyland, but my dad has cousins in LA. So we
Oh, okay.
visited them, and we also went to Disneyland. You should see the pictures. And this is kind of a like a indication of how dysfunctional my household was. We were looking at old pictures, and Denisha said, "Oh," she said, "Look." She said, "Oh, this is nice." It was me, your Uncle Rod, your Uncle Tweety, and our cousin that lives in LA. And we were dressed up. I had on a dress. She had on like a little pants outfit. And your Uncle Rod and your Uncle Tweety had on suits. Denisha said, she said, "Oh, what y'all went to church?" We were like, "No." She was like, what she said, "Y'all went shopping?" I forgot what the other choice was. And I was like, "No." She was like, "Well, where y'all went?" We went to Disneyland
In suits and dresses.
in suits and dresses. Oh my gosh. But that's the time we went to California. We drove to California. And I remember my daddy playing Al Green, going and coming back.
Uh,
And Lynn was like, he played Maze too. I mean, yeah, I think he did because, he was a big Frankie Beverly fan.
oh, okay.
He resembled Frankie Beverly.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So oh, baby, he would have his Frankie Beverly hat,
Yeah.
the little cap that Frankie Beverly wore. But, but I didn't remember him playing Maze. I remember Al Green going and coming. So those were the earliest memories for me, uh, being introduced to music. And it was all secular music. Like I said
Yeah.
before, we
Now,
didn't.
did that pique your interest in music? Like hearing so much of like Al Green and that oldies, like Frankie Beverly and Maze and stuff like that. Did that pique your interest?
I don't. Mm, I don't know. It probably did unconsciously, you know,
Mhm.
um, because I think about Lynn. Lynn was a Prince fan. Lynn
Okay.
loved Prince. I love Michael Jackson, and
Yeah, because Michael
I was
Jackson was
telling,
out during that time. The late
yeah, but
70s, I
I
think it
don't.
was 78, 79. Off the Wall came out.
Yeah, but I don't remember, and I guess I did. I'm pretty sure my daddy probably had Michael Jackson too, because I was telling Denisha, we went to a Jackson 5 concert. My daddy took us to a Jackson 5 concert
Okay.
in New Orleans somewhere. And so I don't remember a lot of it, but so as I got older, I loved Michael Jackson. Lynn loved Prince.
Mhm.
And so I'm pretty sure it had some kind of effect on,
I remember
what
y'all
my
telling
dad.
you telling me that when we was younger, how much
Yeah.
you liked Mike and how much he liked Prince.
Yeah, and in our bedroom when we moved to California, one side I
Oh,
had
yeah,
all
that's what I
Michael
remember.
Jackson stuff,
Uh-huh.
and the other side she had all Prince stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, so those are my early, like I said, it was all secular music. Uh Gospel, I don't ever remember listening to gospel.
Hmm.
Not at all.
Well, yeah, that was gospel music on the, like, radio waves and stuff like that at the time? Like, was it kinda or was it
No,
kinda
I
in its,
don't
like,
think
infancy
no.
stages? Uh,
No, no, no. I mean, I think back then people made gospel albums, gospel tapes,
mhm.
but my parents never bought any and played it, so
So, uh, and you mentioned it was all, like at that time, it was all just, like, vinyls and, like, cassette tapes and stuff, right? You
so,
mentioned the
yeah,
8-track.
cassette, the 8-track and vinyl. Yeah, had to be vinyl.
So you remember your daddy, like, having, like, vinyl, albums and, like, Frankie Beverly and all of that and
I'm
or
pretty
Prince
sure.
or Al Green. What about
I
Marvin
remember
Gaye? Did
Al
you listen to
Green.
Marvin Gaye?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did,
Okay.
but those are just the only 2 that I really
That you remember.
remember. Yeah.
Huh. Let's see, I got the Marvin Gaye 1971 What's Going On album on my phone.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, and I knew about Marvin Gaye. Like, as I got older, if I heard it somewhere, I do remember Marvin Gaye. But like I said, I
Mhm.
just don't remember distinct memories of
Mhm.
hearing Marvin Gaye.
So you didn't take any of kinda like any of that, or just, like, consciously kinda let any of that shape you. So
Mm-mm.
or you say it kind of did pique your interest, but not like overtly. Um,
Yeah.
so at what point did you find yourself like really being interested in music? Or was that kind of never, you kind of just always kind of just went with the flow and kind of was just introduced to other people through like Mike or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, through other people, I'm pretty sure. I never really had a big interest in listening to music.
So you didn't really like
Now,
seek out music.
it depends. Just like I said about New Edition, like I love New Edition.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
bought their album, so it's just different artists. I don't have I listen to a variety of music, different people. However, I'm kind of obsessive. I have an, obsessive or uh behavior. If I like something, I stick with it.
Yeah.
If I like somebody, I stick with it.
Mhm.
Although I may listen to others, but it's only a few people's music that I'm actually spending money on.
Mhm.
And I could say when I was in California after I had Dev, when I would get on the bus because I had to take 2 buses. No, not 2 buses, 3 buses, to work and 3 buses back. And the only 2 so I had a cassette player. The only 2 artists I listened to going and coming was the DOC and Salt and Pepper.
That's it?
That's it.
Mm. Mm.
So I knew all of their songs. It's a cassette tape. You can't just skip to like a CD, right? You can't just
Mhm.
skip or fast forward. I listened to the whole thing. If I didn't want to listen to a song, that means I would have to hit fast forward and wait about 6 minutes or 3 minutes maybe.
Uh-huh.
So I had no choice but to listen to the whole thing.
Mhm.
So, but those were the only 2 that I listened to during that time. So I was how old? I was 20,
Early 20s.
20, 21. Mhm.
Okay, so this is so you mentioned like um your early years kind of being introduced to Al Green and all the oldies and stuff like that because of your daddy. And then but going into like before we get to kind of like your late teens and early 20s, going into your preteen, early teenage years, it was mostly just like Mike, late
I could say,
early
okay,
80s and stuff.
so my mom and dad split up when I was 12. We moved to California when I was 12. And I guess maybe that's when I really started maybe listening to Michael Jackson.
Okay.
But then I had friends, my 3 friends I had, they exposed me to other music,
Okay.
and we used to listen to Elder Barge. Oh, like, that was our little cutie pie. But Diana Ross, and we mainly listened to the radio, actually. We didn't have any money to go buy
Yeah.
albums or tapes.
Mhm.
We would listen to the radio and record. We would record stuff off of the music off of the radio.
Okay.
And, then that's how we would re-listen to it. I had 3 friends. I had Shannon, Monique, and Chrissy. And Chrissy had a family. Her mom and dad was together, but they had a big family. Monique's mom was a single parent of, like, 5 or 6 kids. Shannon's mom was a single parent of 5 kids. My mom was a single parent of 4 kids, so we didn't have any money to go buy
Mhm.
music and listen to music. So, we recorded music. I don't know how we did. Imma have to research how we did that in order to listen to. the music that we liked over and over.
So that was California. So you would say kind of like California was the your introduction into like other types of music and
On my own,
on
yes,
your own, and
yes,
kind of that's where your interest kind of peaked with like seeking
yes.
other music and stuff.
Mhm. And,
Okay.
and then, of course, still had, your Uncle Rod, because we were all teenagers. Well, I was 12, about to be 13, and your Uncle Rod, the oldest, so he was about 17. But your Uncle Tweety and I, since he was right above me, we were the closest in age.
Mhm.
We went to Fremont. He went to Fremont High School when I was after his ninth grade year, Frick Junior High. So, Too Short went to Fremont,
Mhm.
and Too Short sold mixtapes.
Mhm.
So, and Tweety he would buy it. How? I don't know, but he would buy Too Short mixtapes, and when I tell you Too Short was vulgar, and Tweety would come home because, him and I were closer in age. We had a really good relationship. We still do, although he get on my
Mhm.
doggone nerves. Um, and we would be in a house blasting Too Short. My mama wasn't there, of course, but and we would just be rapping Too Short.
Mhm.
The vulgar language. But so, I mean, so my brother introduced me to Too Short, the vulgar music, the rap, the gangster. I
Mhm.
don't know what's considered. He wasn't considered a gangster rapper. He was just a rapper. He was just a vulgar rapper.
Yeah, that was that
So
early Bay Area, West Coast, like
yeah. So I was exposed to different types of music, and sort of. So it piqued my interest. And but I could say, like, I like New Edition, and New Edition evolved to a more grown up
yeah, uh-huh.
group. So listening to Can You Stay in the Rain. So I think that was really my exposure to R&B, like love music. But Anita Baker. And as I got older, my daddy used to listen to Anita Baker.
Oh,
And
for real?
Anita
Okay.
Baker. Oh, that was my jam. Like, Anita was my girl. She still is. I could listen to Anita Baker. Like, I like Stephanie Mills. I like a lot of the romance,
Okay.
R&B, romance music
Mhm.
artist. So that's me now, but I still listen to rap, of course. I haven't listened to rap in a minute, like DMX. And I
Mhm.
and I think as I got older, the vulgar language, like I don't even like to listen to I love DMX,
Yeah.
but I try to find the clean versions
Mhm.
because I want to listen to it too when Jada and Kaya, when my grandkids are in the car,
Yeah.
without exposing them to the vulgar music, you know.
So kinda like so before we get to kinda like the music you started listening to, um, like in your early 20s and beyond.
Mhm.
So with me, um, you said it was around so maybe like 12, 13, where you kinda your interest peaked with kinda like seeking out different kinds of music, although probably
Mhm.
not to the level that like other people did. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's what it was for me. But like we were talking the other day, my my music interest peaked a lot younger than that. Um,
From your dad.
from my daddy because I can't really remember too much before the years of like 7.
Okay.
Uh as far as
And
like
that's odd for you. because
That's
you
odd,
remember a
I
lot of
know, because
stuff.
I remember everything. I do
Yeah,
remember a lot before I was 7 years old. I just don't remember, like, music, what type of
music.
music really kinda stuck with me before then.
Mhm.
But between, like, 7 and 8, um, I I really remember, growing up in South Louisiana, the Hot Boys were
Mhm.
getting big in the late 90s and early 2000s. Uh, so when Wayne was like 16 and like 98. So yeah, that probably was before. I mean, 98, I was 6. So, um,
And
Wayne and the Hot
I
Boys
love
getting
Lil
big.
Wayne.
Yeah.
I love Lil Wayne back then, yes.
Uh-huh. Uh, so let me see. Let me check real quick. But that's around the time where like music really started to kind of peak for me. And yep, I was thinking 500 Degrees, but it was The Block Is Hot. The Block Is Hot, Wayne
Mm.
first album dropped in 99.
Mhm.
So that I can definitely remember that. Wayne being a young 16, 17-year-old. Um and that and then No Limit at the time was, had they run.
Mhm.
So Daddy listening to that, I remember him having a No Limit CD, No Limit album with the the
Tank.
gold tank on the front.
Mm.
I remember Wayne coming out with The Block Is Hot. Uh,
Mhm.
I remember Daddy having the like pretty much the music shelf or whatever with all his CDs and all of that in there.
Okay.
Uh, so and then of course with The Block Is Hot and then like the Hot Boys and all of that, that was kind of where my music interest really started to peak, and it was from South Louisiana artists, South Louisiana groups. And because that was kind of my that was really my introduction into rap music. Um, that's why even now at 33, rap music is still, although my interests have changed and
Yeah.
I don't listen to every type of rap music. Um, Rap music is still like what
Your number
really
one
resonates with me.
genre.
Yeah, it's
That's
my
your
number
number
one
one.
genre.
Okay.
But you did say Daddy was big into music. So outside of the rap music, I remember being in the car with him on tapes, listening to Music Soul Child album, India Irie's album from like
Mhm.
what 99, 2000, 2001, something like that. Uh, that album had, I think it was the album that had like brown skin and stuff on it.
Mhm.
Music Soul Child's album was the one with, let me see. I think it was I Just Want to Sing. Was it I Just Want to Sing? Was it that album? I'm looking now. Yep, it was I Just Want to Sing 2000.
And
Uh,
see, that's
it,
all from your dad, cause I don't that's all from your dad.
it had Love on it. Um, and a bunch of other Just Friends. Uh, yeah, You and Me, Girl Next Door. I remember all of those songs. And
Mm.
then India Irie's album with Brown Skin and let me see. I haven't revisited these albums in a long time, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of like trying to remember what was on them. But it was around the same time. Acoustic Soul. Yep, Acoustic Soul video, Brown Skin
Mm.
in my head. I remember. Yeah, so me and Daddy was back and forth listening to Music Soul Child, India Irie. Of course, at the time, Nelly was real hot. We had the
Mm.
Hot Boys. We had No Limit. Wayne. We had, of course, all the West Coast stuff that he grew up listening to. I
Yeah.
was still listening to. So a lot of my music influences came from him and being in the car with him and listening to
Yeah.
everything he was listening to. So
Mhm.
it wasn't until about maybe like 12 or 13 where I really kind of started to like seek music out for myself.
Okay.
It was kind of still through him. I was introduced to the game
Oh,
through
wow.
Daddy, and we kind of it was kind of like at the same time because when he came out, like we both kind of found out about him at the same time, just because of 106 in Park and BET. BET and MTV was big in
Yeah.
the music scene back then, not so much now. Uh, but the game, that's why the game, before the game, of course, my favorite rapper was Wayne, and Wayne always been my favorite rapper, ever. But it was a good 3-4 years where the game was like my number one favorite rapper at the time, and that was from 2004 into 2005 when he introduced him like late 2004, 2005. He came out with the documentary album, and at the time I was
Okay.
like 12, you know. Um,
Yeah, see, I
so
I forgot about him. You just
yeah,
mentioned him. Yeah, so that's all, yeah, definitely from your
so
daddy,
me and Daddy
yeah.
used to be listening to that, and I guess he kind of Daddy. That's kind of the way I am with my kids now. So like to your point, how you try to listen to DMX, and obviously at that time, I was introduced to DMX and Nas and Jay-Z and all of that.
Mhm.
Even before that in the late '90s and early 2000s. Uh, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint like what um outside of the game and like South Louisiana, like Lil Wayne and all of that. It's kind of hard for me to pinpoint what I was like super interested in because I listened to everything during that time. Um, I didn't really
Yeah,
seek out like Jay-Z and stuff until I got a little bit older.
okay.
But on the radio, during that time, I think he had dropped the Blueprint album, I think in like early 2000s.
Oh,
But
wow.
anyway,
Okay.
as you see, I can go back and I can name like all
Yeah.
type of stuff. But that's kind of where my music interest like really took off at was late '90s, early 2000s, and so now I I still listen to all type of stuff, um, mostly rap, a lot of R&B. I know you had mentioned like playing DMX and all of that, like in front of Jada and all of them, and kind of finding a clean version.
Yeah.
Uh, but I do that with my kids.
Okay.
It's, definitely
Sometimes.
sometimes. Now that they're a
Yeah.
little bit older, like
Yeah,
I play stuff because they know better. Um,
exactly.
but I also do it now because they're to the point where their music interests are starting to kind of like develop.
Develop.
And I feel
Mhm.
like if they have the same conversation 20 years from now and
Mhm.
say where they music interest like in rap really started to peak at, I think me and Aaliyah would both say and they would agree that it was 2024 when Kendrick Lamar dropped his GNX album.
Mm.
I feel like
Mm.
that would be a core memory for them of like where they interest in the rap music like really started to peak.
Yeah, and you saying that and made me think about when you were in Alaska, when we visited when you were in Alaska.
Hmm.
And I just think about how our music interest rubs off on our children and our grandchildren. Because remember the New Edition movie came out?
Hmm.
We were watching it when you were in
Hmm.
Alaska, and Dayton was what, 2 or
4.
3, 4?
Yeah.
No, because Jada was,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because y'all came in the
what year
summer
was
of
that?
2017.
17.
He was like 3.5. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Jada's about
Hmm.
5, and they listened to those songs years after that.
Hmm.
New Edition,
Hmm.
Popcorn Love, oh
Hmm.
my goodness,
And
remember they used to
him
get
and Kai can still like recognize those songs and all of that. Hmm.
Wow, and I think, you're talking about how your daddy influenced the music you listen to. I could say Danae. Danae no salt and pepper
because of you.
because because of me.
Mhm.
Yes.
But me and But really know a lot about Bob Marley because of Daddy.
Exactly.
We know a
Yep.
lot about Michael Jackson because of you,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know? So
Mhm.
it's from both of y'all too, like, it's why I'm, like, interested in so many different styles and,
Yeah.
genres of music. Because I could put some reggae on right now, I could
Yeah.
listen, to Michael Jackson right now, uh, a
Okay.
lot of rap. But
So
so
when you are in a mood, it so of course your mood determines what music you're gonna listen to.
Mhm,
You find that with yourself?
mhm.
So explain to me the different moods and what you listen to.
Uh, okay. Sometimes that's hard to pinpoint for me
Okay.
because I'm so interested in so many different, like,
Oh, okay.
so many different styles of music. However, I can't say that when I go to the gym, when I'm in the
Mhm.
gym, it's 85, 90% rap music.
Okay.
Um, and it don't have to be like that, it don't have it, and sometimes it depends though on what I'm doing in the gym, but
Okay.
it's rap music. So sometimes it could be like lately, well, and we'll talk more about Big Crit too, because I got a story of like how in my late teens and early 20s, how Big Crit really started to like resonate with me.
Oh,
But
wow.
um Big Crit, he released the album about 3 months ago. So I've been
Okay.
listening to that a lot in the gym. But it's mostly just rap music that I listen to because it gotta be upbeat.
Upbeat.
Um
Yeah.
it gotta be it gotta be some cussing in it. Cause like I'm in the gym, I'm lifting heavy. Like it got to be something that give me a little riled up.
Yeah. Pumped up.
But even if the subject matter isn't like super vulgar, it's
Okay.
still rap music. So a lot of
Yeah.
J. Cole, a lot of Kendrick, a lot of Crit. Um,
Okay.
Now that my mood sometimes depends on like if I'm if I want more old, like, so that older rap music, if I want
Mhm.
more of the new stuff, if I want more like Southern rap music, if I'm kind of in the mood for Southern stuff, I'll listen to Crit. I'll listen to, like old Wayne.
Mhm.
I'll listen to just some old, sometimes I'll just like put in like old, 90s, 2000s rap music. Um, but
Okay.
that ain't even just me being in the gym. So when I'm cleaning the house though, sometimes I
Okay.
want R&B.
Oh,
So
really?
sometimes I'll listen to or put on the R&B radio or something like that, or kind of go through like my R&B playlist that I got on my phone.
Okay.
If I really just want to chill. Uh, Sometimes I put on stuff that if I'm in a mood to where like I want to listen to music, but I'm not really trying to like sing along or stuff like that. I'll put on something that I don't listen to often. I could just hear it and consume it,
Just
and kind of
without
focusing on what I'm
worry
doing.
about without singing along with it. I
Yeah, because
got it.
sometimes I get wrapped up into, like, the singing and rapping along that I kinda forget
Yeah.
what I'm doing. Uh, but so,
Okay.
like
So
oh, what you about
so
to say?
wait. Yeah, so I wanna know when you're loving on Aaliyah, like,
Mhm.
you're in the mood. So is it still rap music?
No,
I mean, like, when you're feeling like, oh, y'all having a good day, or you hold her hand,
it
you're
depends,
sitting by
honestly,
her.
because it honestly depends because we don't listen to a lot of music, like, out loud in the house.
Okay,
I don't know, just 'cause, like, Grace is young and,
I get it.
she
Yeah.
so, but we'll have our moments, but sometimes, like, when we kinda just, like, loving it, we'll kinda listen to whatever. Like, it's been times where
Okay,
because me and her also bond over music. But
okay. So you just recently, um, spent some time together while your mother-in-law was there,
mhm.
right? So in the car, when you two are together, what are you listening to?
Whatever we feel like, honestly. It's we don't
wow.
really have that like, oh, we in a car, we gotta be listening to R&B. Um,
I get that.
we listen to a lot of J. Cole because he just dropped his album. We listen to a lot of Beyonce together, because we really nerd out over that. We will listen to no, for real, like, we'll listen to Beyonce
Yeah.
together and nerd out on, like, the, um the writing and the production from and background vocals from The Dream because Beyonce works a lot with The Dream.
Oh, okay.
So we listen to a lot of Beyonce together. We listen to a lot of different types of, like, R&B, some of the new girls like Kehlani and, Summer Walker and, all of them.
Okay. Okay.
But me and Aaliyah listen to everything together, so we don't really have something that we, like, go to.
Okay.
Uh, if we honestly but, I mean, it is those times where if we wanna be more romantic, we will put on R&B,
Okay.
like,
Okay.
definitely, like, 90s R&B because she really into that too.
Okay. All right.
So we have
Well,
our
what about
moments.
gospel?
So that's something I wanted to talk about. So, I know we had a conversation before about gospel music.
Mhm.
So, you know how you mentioned, like listening in the car and how our music influences kind of, came from you remember when we used to be in the car, we used to listen to all type of stuff,
Yeah, we used to
you
do the
know.
gospel
Uh,
rap,
we, and
gospel,
it'll
just
all play
regular
back to back.
gospel.
One
Yeah,
moment it'd be a gospel song, next moment it'd be a rap song,
a rap
next moment
song.
it'd be
Exactly.
R&B, whatever. Uh But gospel specifically, I know growing up, daddy liked to play gospel too. So,
Yeah.
playing gospel in the house on, weekend mornings and after church or before church or just some, just
Mhm.
random times or whatever. So
Mhm.
gospel is one of those genres that's like really up there for me, but I can't just listen to it.
You just can't
And
just pop it in.
I
Oh, I'm gonna
can't
listen to gospel right
yeah.
now. I
I
get
even
it.
have a gospel playlist on my phone.
Mhm.
But I can't just listen to one. That's one of those that I have to like really, really be in the mood for.
Okay.
Um, and because it's not even like a bad thing, I have to really be in the mood for gospel. And me and Aaliyah had listened to gospel together,
Okay.
but I have to really be in the mood for gospel because gospel music makes me emotional.
Yeah,
So I don't like to be in that mind frame and that state, that mood state or
I
whatever
got it.
all the time.
I got it.
So I won't play gospel. The gospel is not my go-to genre.
That makes sense.
But I
That
know
makes
like
sense.
daddy, he play gospel random, like all times of the day. I remember me and you had this
He does.
conversation though. I guess that's why you don't like go to gospel as often, right?
Yeah. It resonates with me to where yeah, I get emotional and yeah, now I'm done because I'm just so
Yeah, exactly.
certain songs, you know. But so it just made me think about getting emotional with gospel music. So is there for me there's a song, a couple of songs that makes me emotional and one is a gospel song, but another one isn't. It makes me think about Sanaya. Remember the song Kirk Franklin's Smile?
Mhm.
That was our song for Sanaya. And it took me a while. If it would come on the radio,
Mhm.
I would have to turn it because I got
Mhm.
too emotional.
Mhm.
And I have it on my playlist. Sometimes I can listen to it, sometimes I can't.
Mhm.
And remember, I told you about when I was talking earlier about Diana Ross. Diana Ross has a song, Missing You, and was talking about her friends that have passed away. Put it on and shuffle. So it came on, and as soon as it came on, I had to turn it off because
Mhm.
I know what the song is.
Mhm.
And immediately I had to turn off because I'm like, no, I don't want to get emotional because it
Mhm.
made me think about Sanaya.
Mhm.
So there are some songs and there's more that makes me emotional, but then there are some that's connected to memories. You
Mhm.
get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So, and I can't think of the other ones off the top of my head, but it just brings you back,
it does.
to
Yeah,
a
so many
time and
songs.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. A lot of songs, just like I talked about the Prince, Little Red Corvette. And that's what I like about music. It it it's memories. It evokes
Mhm.
memories.
Mhm.
Some are good, some are
Some
bad.
are bad.
Yeah.
So during that time, like fall into winter of 2016,
Mhm.
The Weeknd dropped the album, and Bruno Mars dropped the album, 24 Karat. Uh, and then the Weeknd album was Starboy.
Okay.
And I ran those albums into the ground. I was in Alaska at the time. I ran those albums to the ground. Still to this day, know almost every word off of each album. Um,
Mm.
but that came after. So like when all the stuff I was going through from 2013 on, but like when I got to California, California was kind of a phase in my life where music, I wasn't really seeking out music. There was so much going on in my life that like music was kind of just put on the back burner. I had my moments,
Mm.
here and there where I would like, I was listening to a lot of like
Mhm.
Gates at the time, and Kevin Gates at the time, and stuff like that. Um, but I wasn't seeking music the way that I used to, or I
Mm.
had been previously. But when I got to Alaska, I was like, you know what, man, I'm out here by myself. I need to get back to like really listening to music because I'm thousands and thousands of miles away from my family. I was in
Yeah.
California before that, so still far away. But like now, I came home twice when I was in Alaska.
Yeah.
Once,
B
once,
and it was
and it
for
was for Sanaya's funeral.
Sanaya's funeral, and you came for your mama.
No, that was in
Yeah.
California.
Oh, that was California.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was in
Alright.
California. So I came home once,
Mm.
so I got back into my music or whatever. But anyway, at the end of 2016, I was really listening to Bruno Mars and The Weeknd's albums, and I took that into 2017. So I was at the end of 2016, Sanaya passed. So it was
Mhm.
some stuff on the radio too. Um, but I don't know if you remember remember Jeremiah, R&B singer. He had a couple hits in like the mid 2000s, 2008, 2009 when I was in high school and stuff.
Maybe if you
The
kind of
song the
vaguely.
song Birthday Sex and uh
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay. Uh-huh.
at that time, in like the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, his song on the radio, you'll know it if you hear it, OUI. Um,
Okay.
you know it
Yeah.
if you hear it. So
Mhm.
that song was really big in the radio and all of that and streaming and stuff at that time. So I was hearing it a lot. I was listening to it a lot.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, that song immediately takes me to remembering Sanaya.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Content is about like love and all of that, but like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for whatever reason, um,
That
I think I
song.
know the reason because I was listening to it so much that even when I was
Mm.
traveling home for a funeral, I was listening to it. So that
Wow.
song, the Bruno Mars album,
Mm.
and the Weeknd's album, because that's the stuff I was really listening to during that time. Outside of
Mhm.
like the rap stuff, a lot of those songs really just take me back to that moment. And then even
Wow.
further along in 2017, uh, it's a couple songs that like immediately take me back to when Roddy passed off of the
Right.
Bruno Mars album. So like
Mm.
I love those albums, but I
Yeah,
think I don't listen to them as often or don't revisit them as often because it takes me back to like moments that weren't like so great for me.
exactly. Exactly. Mhm. Yeah, 'cause we were out there when Roddy passed, right?
Yeah, y'all was out there with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
So you mentioned earlier how like uh when you was about 20, 21, and listening to like Salt and Pepper and who else it was you said when you had Dev?
The DOC.
Oh, the DLC. Yeah. So, you know, in your early 20s, your interest in music is a lot different than, your late 20s into your 30s and stuff like that. And, obviously I could speak to that too, but at what point did you start to notice your interests change? Not really like for the genre specifically, but just
Mhm.
for the content, for different stuff that you sought out.
But it's just like you said, you change, as
Yeah.
you get older, your interests change. Um, but I could say not so much because I still have the DOC on my playlist.
Mhm.
I still have Salt and Pepper on my playlist, but I have lots more than them on my playlist.
Yeah.
And I can say my only playlist I have of a specific genre is gospel. So all the other song is just a mixture. So when I'm listening to so although I have all those different songs on there, I can just skip past whatever I don't wanna
Yeah.
listen to.
But
So
is it
go
mostly
ahead.
is it mostly older stuff that you resonate with, or is it like,
Definitely.
yeah, because you don't find yourself seeking like music that's being released today, or really like
No.
relating
No.
to the stuff that's being produced and like released today?
No. Unless it's I'm trying to think if there's anything on my playlist that's recent. I think maybe the last time I downloaded a song
Hmm.
was maybe a year or so ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't listen to current music, I listen to on the radio.
Okay.
And it's not there's nothing that really that I really love to go for me to say, "Oh, let me put this on my playlist."
Mhm.
So, because I do listen to more of the old R&B, Tevin Campbell, you know, and I don't even listen to Luther. I think I listen to a lot of female
Like from the
R&B artists.
from the 90s, early 90s, and
Stephanie Mills,
Mary J.
Anita
Blige.
Baker, um, Mary J. Blige, Mary's a mixture of rap
Yeah,
and
yeah, right.
R&B.
Um,
Yeah,
TLC, I know they kinda like a in between.
TLC, and
Uh,
I don't have anything of TLC on
for real?
my playlist.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. Like, the
Yeah.
girl groups,
Uh-huh.
like, I have a couple, maybe, but that's just me, like, I could listen to a lot of music,
Mhm.
even, like, the old stuff, if it comes on the radio, I'm like, "Ooh," but for me to actually put it on my playlist, it's not a lot, that
Yeah.
because even though I put it on my playlist, because I could be like, "Oh," I'll go research, okay, some music, some '90s music to see, "Oh, yeah, I remember I like this song," but it's not much that I put on my playlist. My playlist is not big at all,
Yeah, I'm not
and
I'm not big into creating playlists, so that's why. So obviously you've grown in like what type of music you consume and what type of music you listen to, but the music hasn't it's not you don't feel like stuff today resonates with you. You don't feel like the music has
yeah,
grown with you. You kind of go back to like stuff
to the
from yeah, to the old stuff.
yeah,
So for me it's different. I don't know, maybe just because I'm younger too,
probably so, yeah,
I I did look at my R&B, my 90s R&B playlist. I got like 39 songs on it. I created it like 6 years ago, so I haven't updated it though since then. But
okay,
it reminded me though of music from the late 90s and stuff. So, I talked about like my introduction to rap, but this actually reminded me of like my introduction to R&B from like the late when I was
Okay.
6, 7 years old. So I do remember listening to, because I got him on my stuff, and I think I got the album on there. Maxwell, um,
Oh, yeah, that's my
uh,
guy too.
Hang Sweet, like that album, with
Mhm.
Ascension and all of that on there.
Mhm.
Um, what's the hold up? Let me see. Let me go to the album real quick. Oh man, it's not letting me go to the album. Oh yeah, Urban Hang Sweet. Anyway, uh, so listening to Maxwell, obviously, Usher came out like in the late '90s, like that. Um,
Mhm.
and then because I'm like, man, where did I get all of these songs from? And where do I remember from? It just and it reminded me just from the late '90s. So that was kind of like my introduction into R&B was
Mm.
Maxwell, Donnell Jones, like in that late '90s and stuff like
Mm.
that. Because I do remember y'all listening to that stuff.
Yes.
Tyrese, you know, but I even got Jodeci, and I got all kind of people on this. D'Angelo, Deborah Cox. Remember, listening to her a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, but kind of like I said, to the opposite of you though. Like my music interests and what I consume has changed. But I still feel like music is growing with me. So,
Yeah.
um, I obviously I don't listen to stuff. I don't listen to a lot of that like murder, kill, rap and stuff like that no more.
Yeah.
I have my moments there. I can't say I still
Yeah,
have my
you
moments.
do, yeah.
Especially when I'm in the gym. Like I gotta put on Fredo Bang when I'm in the gym sometimes or whatever. But I don't actively seek out Fredo Bang music no more.
Oh,
Um
okay.
I had about I had about 2 years, about 2020 to like 2022 where I was actively like seeking out Fredo Bang and stuff like that. Pretty much
Okay.
since then I haven't downloaded or listened to anything from him. But the stuff I do have, I can go back to and kind of it reminds me of that time, you know, leaving Louisiana, going to Georgia and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it put
Yeah.
me in a mood like when I'm in the gym. And
Mm.
then it's he from South Louisiana, so anything South Louisiana, like I'ma always resonate with.
Ooh, Fredo Bang?
Yeah, he from BR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Oh, now that you say okay. Alright.
anything South
Oh.
Louisiana, I'ma always resonate with. Like even if I don't actively seek out their music right now,
Yeah.
I'ma always resonate with. Have a love for Kevin Gates. Um, I had about a good 4 to 5 year run with him,
Okay.
between like 2014 to like 2019, 2020, 5, 6 year run.
Mm.
Uh, but so that's kind of why. But like that type of music that like Fredo Bang and Young Boy and all of them make, that
Yeah.
don't really that drill music from Chicago and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't really rock with none of that.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Kendrick and J. Cole and Big Crit. And it's a lot of other rappers I listen to, but mostly like them
Yeah.
three is like my top three right now, just because I feel like they've evolved with their age.
Yeah, I got it.
And it, 'cause I remember I told you I wanted to talk about my introduction to like Big Crit, and Big Crit stuck with me since like 2012. I was going to LSU. I was in college, and I got introduced to Big Crit. I don't remember how. It's just probably just from searching out music or whatever.
Okay.
I had heard of him before, but I think it was like 2012 where he might have been anywhere between 2010 and 2012. He was on the double XL freshman uh rap like freshman of the year or whatever.
Oh, really?
Um, but Big Crit is also Nipsey Hussle. Is somebody I still listen to this day.
Mm.
But I was kind of introduced to Crit, so that's he stuck with me since then because it takes me back to being 19, 20 years old. You know,
Mhm.
um, at the time when I was introduced to him with his Live from the Underground album, but I've stuck with him since then, and also just the stuff he was even rapping about then, because Crit like 6, 7 years older than me.
Okay.
Um, But even then, when I was 20, he was what, mid-20s or whatever. The stuff he was rapping about was just that kind of like conscious stuff, and that's why he's not super mainstream. Even now,
Mhm.
Crit is one of those people like you know him, you really rock with him. People in the music industry rock with him. He work with everybody, but
Yeah,
he don't have the big time commercial success, because people don't really the big commercial stuff don't really rock with the conscious pro black super southern stuff. Um,
definitely.
but he's always been that way, and that's why like he's stuck with me since because his content has changed. Um,
Okay.
some of the stuff he raps about has changed. Uh, in a sense, like he's not rapping about some of the same things he rapped about when he was 26. Now being almost 40 years old,
Of
but
course.
some of that stuff still similar though. You can still like connect the dots, but it's from a different perspective. And
Yeah.
that's why Crit and Cole and Kendrick and all of them like really resonate with me because, I think now when I was 25, 26 years old, I don't think the same way I did, now being 33, almost 34 years old.
Yeah.
So I like
Yeah.
artists that just speak about life and Crit, he stays just true to who he is. Cole stayed true to who he is. Kendrick, same
Yeah.
thing. Um, but Crit also kind of stuck with me too because he was one of the first artists that I used one of their beats to actually write my own song to.
Oh, really?
Hmm. I don't even know
Oh, okay.
if I have that paper anymore that I wrote it on, but he was
Hmm.
one of those first artists that I did that to.
All right. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that I think if we look back on the music we like, there's a theme there.
It is.
And I think you said it because you like a lot of the artists that are real,
Hmm.
the rap artists. Now it you listen to some that aren't because,
Yeah,
I
I don't always
mean,
listen to music
you don't always,
for
yeah, but I
the
think,
for the content and the lyricism. Sometimes I listen to it just
yeah,
because it's a good beat and it's a
because
decent
of the
song,
beat. Exactly. But I think more often than not, you can probably see a recurring
It's a
theme.
theme. Yeah.
Yeah. So Imma
Mhm.
have to look back. Imma have to look back through my music and see what's that recurring theme.
Mhm. Well, you say
Wow.
you are a romantic, so like it's probably
I
stuff. That's
am.
why you like the 90s R&B stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think about it and I'm looking at my, and when you were saying playlist, yeah, I only have one playlist, and that's gospel. So when I look on my phone, I go under songs.
Okay. Yeah.
So I only have one playlist, and that's gospel.
Mhm.
But I have so many different artists. Anita, of course, Ashanti, Belle Biv DeVoe, Beyonce, Bobby Brown. I have a lot of them because just creating it, I was like, "Ooh, like I remember this song. Ooh,
Yeah.
I remember this song."
Exactly. You
You
mentioned
know?
Ashanti, that automatically take me back to her run with Murder Inc. and Ja Rule back in like
Yeah.
2001, 2002, playing AAU
Mhm.
basketball in the summer. Like I remember that. It
Okay.
immediately take me back to that.
For real.
Mhm.
Chris Brown. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Like I
Chris
got
Brown.
like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I love Chris Brown younger days.
Oh yeah, that's when his music was good.
I like the younger days,
Yeah.
of Chris Brown. Not I like some of his more recent songs, but mainly I like the older songs. Of course I got, oh my gosh, DOC. But I'm looking, it's a variety, but like I said, I added it because it popped in my head. And also, but when I'm listening, it's what mood I'm in when I'm in the car.
Mhm.
If a song come on, nah. If rap come on, nah, I don't feel like listening to rap. No,
Yeah.
I wanna listen to romance. I wanna listen to some romance.
Mhm.
That's me. Cause your daddy tell me. And I could say, I'm a romantic at heart, um, because your daddy told me even the movies I look at, like the Christmas movies,
Mhm.
it's I love romantic comedies.
Mhm.
I love drama, romance. That's just who I am.
Mhm.
Yeah, so my music reflects that, and my no, the movies or the TV shows I watch reflect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a romantic at heart.
Mm. And I just love rap music.
Yeah,
Southern
and
rap, East
I
Coast
still
rap.
like rap. Yeah.
Mhm. I love
Mm.
Bun B album Trill from 2005. Me and Daddy ran that to the ground. And from the Ghetto Boys also released the album that year.
Oh, wow.
And speaking of Ghetto Boys and Bun B and like MJ and A Ball MJG from Memphis and all of them, Scarface and all them dudes from like Houston and stuff.
Mhm.
That's why I love Big Crit. Big Crit got um a song on his new album, Cataly Barritz, and he always go back to his southern roots. He from Meridian, Mississippi. So
Oh,
he always go
wow.
back to southern roots, and on one of his albums, he mentioned how his influences was A Ball, MJG, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, all of them. So
No, no, you just said that, and I just saw the instant connection. Meridian. That's where you used to
that's where I used to
drop
pick up
the
the water.
boys at.
Uh-huh.
Meet up and drop the
I thought
oh,
that was
wow.
interesting for me when that happened.
Yeah.
I was like, dang,
Oh,
one of
wow.
my favorite rappers from Meridian.
Meridian.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That's crazy.
And also, a girl I love that the black community loves, Hayley Williams. She was the lead singer in the group Paramore. Um,
I don't remember that.
white girl. She's also from Meridian, Mississippi.
Okay. Oh,
Hmm.
wow. Okay.
But all right, we
Man.
could talk about this forever. We might. I feel like
Exactly.
eventually we might have to have a part two of because it's
Definitely.
some stuff that I ain't even mentioned that we could talk
Mm.
about. I think we should we should go on the questions though, but I think we should do the questions a little bit differently this time.
Okay.
I think we should do 3 questions, but each of us answer that question. All right, so I'll start with the first question. That you can answer, and then I'll give mine after that. Uh, what is a song that carried you through a hard season?
Mm. So, like a song that I needed to hear for uplifting, you mean? Something like that?
Yeah, I mean it could be that, or it could be a song that just like you just having a rough time and a rough,
Yeah.
yeah, something
A
that
rough
kind of like
day
a rough
or
moment
okay.
in your life, for maybe a somewhat extended period of time that like this song you constantly went back to, whether it's a rap song, R&B song, gospel, whatever, but just a song that you found comfort in like through that time.
Hmm. Wow, I'm about to get emotional. So, I remember Anita Baker song, "No More Tears." Wow, and I haven't thought of that. I because I was about to tell you, "Oh, I don't think there's any song,"
Hmm.
but I do remember Anita Baker's "No More Tears." Wow. Ooh. Um, my dad was not the best dad, right?
Hmm.
And I remember living with him when I was 18, 19, before I moved back to California in 89. So I was probably 18,
In
18 or
80,
19.
in 89.
So like in 88. So after I
No, okay,
graduated.
yeah,
Yeah, so after I graduated. Yeah, it had to be after I graduated.
you
So
moved
I
back to
graduated in
California.
87. No, so after I graduated in
Oh,
87,
okay.
yeah, I went to I went to Southern for 2 weeks, and then I transferred to Nichols.
Hmm.
So, stayed there. Well, yeah, dropped out in October, I remember that. And I think after that, I went to live with my daddy. He was in New Orleans. And I was into Anita Baker's song, and I probably because of him. And I remember her song "No More Tears." And my dad he was just like so rude. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like just so like heartless sometimes. And he would hurt my feelings. And one point that song resonated with me. Like, you know what? I'm not crying no more. You
Okay.
know, it was like, you know what? Forget this. I think it just made me stronger. Cause some people, what they say, the devil meant harm, but God worked it out for good.
Mhm.
And I believe that any kind of way he could, he tried to break me. And I didn't really see it at that time, but I could look back on it now and be like, wow,
Mhm.
yeah, this man was really trying to break me, his baby girl,
Mhm.
because I didn't do what he wanted me to do,
Mhm.
you know? And I remember that song, No More Tears.
Mhm.
And it made me think of him like, okay, no,
Mhm.
nah, I'm not crying no more. I'm good.
Mhm.
I'm good. Wow.
You said Anita
Wow.
Baker?
Anita Baker. Yep.
Mm.
No More Tears.
So
Okay. So,
for me, Smoking Norfolk, I understand.
mm,
That you remember I said I can't, so I got 11 songs on my gospel playlist. 'Cause remember I said like, I can't really listen to
yeah.
gospel because it, unless I'm really in the mood for it because it makes me emotional.
hmm
But Smoky Norfolk, I understand that song carried me through what in the 2019, all of 2020.
Oh, wow.
Because you know what I was going through at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that song, yeah, like even now when I listen to it, like it still just kind of like make me emotional because
hmm
it's still, even some of the things I've gone through since then, like that song still like, it always resonates. But that song was like, uh, really the song that like really carried me through that time in my life.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like
It's on
kind of
my.
to your point, like what the devil meant for harm, God turned it around for good. So
hmm
it made me, you know, for lack of better words, understand like, hey, I'm going through all of this, but on there's a bright side of it that you are like, you know,
Mm.
that I'll get to, and that at that, even to the point when I had gotten to like the better side of it.
Yeah.
Um, still some struggle in that, but that's
I
all
am the
really.
Lord. I see you. And
And
yes, I understand.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that's on my playlist too.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
So that song
Ooh,
was the song that even now to this day and definitely back then, like carries me through like some hardships.
yeah. mm And I think about gospel. Gospel songs are meant to minister to you,
Mhm.
but I don't believe just gospel songs can minister to you.
Mm-mm,
I
no.
believe secular music can minister to you also.
Oh, I believe that fully because one of my favorite songs off the new J. Cole album is "Only You." You have to go listen to it. For the people who listen to it, they know is so this 39 of his second album, or well, of this album is the second track, the second CD or whatever of that
Okay.
double album. It's a lot of like storytelling and perspective from what I believe is his age. I
Mm.
believe that's why the discs are called disc 29 and disc 39. Um, and a few of those songs on there, one of the songs he samples DMX, and then another song it's called Only You. Both of those songs are about his one song is called Life Sentence, the one the sample of DMX, and the other song Only You is about his wife.
Oh,
So
wow.
Only You really like ministers in that type of sense to me,
Mm.
because it just kind of the stuff he's talking about, and the content is more so like, you know, it comes from like a appreciative place of his wife. So that
Mm.
song kind of ministers to me because it takes me to that place like with Aaliyah.
Exactly. Mm. Ooh, wow. Okay. So one more question.
Yeah, let's do one more.
Maybe on a lighter note.
Yeah, let's end on a lighter note.
Yeah. So, okay, and on a lighter note, what song made you dance?
Ooh, um, so being from South Louisiana, there's so many songs
Yeah.
that make us dance.
Yeah.
Bounce music, um, that BR jig music, uh, the Zydeco music from Lafayette and all of that.
Yeah.
So so many songs that like make us dance, but for me specifically, uh, I can't remember when I was super young. I know I used to like dance then. Just you could probably remember a little bit more about that.
I
But
I
so you can tell me what
I
song
have a
it is.
I have a and it's not a song,
Mm-hmm.
but it's one of the dances.
Oh,
Now, I
okay.
guess maybe you dance, what,
But
because
for
sometimes
me,
some dances go with certain songs.
yeah, right. But for
But
me, it was just honestly that just era I grew up in.
yeah.
That dance music that everybody danced to coming out of like Atlanta and Dallas, the Soulja Boy music. Um,
Mhm.
One that I really tried to. Then I mean I got it down, but I'm not a dancer, so like
No, you're not.
it's a little bit awkward. But my Dougie, like that
That's the
was
one I was
mine.
thinking about,
Uh,
yeah. I actually just looked at a picture, uh, from remember your graduation party because there was so many of
yeah.
y'all
Hmm.
graduating, and on one of the pictures, you was in motion doing
Uh,
the Dougie. I was like,
uh,
"Oh, yeah, look, that's when my baby knew how to dance. That's
that's
when he
when I
knew
knew
how
how
to
to
dance."
dance. Now you couldn't pay me to dance now.
No. And it's crazy, like, I that song, I have that on my playlist,
Mm.
and although I can't do it, that song just like, like I'm sitting down dancing, like
Uh,
there are a few more, but just specifically, I remember that one. Then they, when they're over here and, they have playing the music and I was like, I want to listen to a song. And then they was like, Mama, nobody want to listen to Teach Me How to Dougie. I want to
uh,
listen to it.
but it's definitely like a few different songs that you Dougie too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And actually, when I tell you about how I like Chris Brown, there was a video years ago with him in a club doing a Dougie. You remember
oh,
that? Somebody was
yeah,
recording him and yeah, and I was
yeah.
like, that boy can
That
dance.
dude is
So,
super.
I just see
He,
myself,
yeah,
huh? What'd you say?
that dude, as many like personal issues and all that he has, and
Yeah,
all of that stuff outside all of that, uh, that dude is one of the most talented people on this planet.
he is. We
And
were talking about him
I
yesterday.
wish that he didn't have all of the issues that he had,
Yeah.
and still has.
But that's how
But
it is sometimes.
that dude is super, super talented. That dude could have been
Super talent.
one of the greatest artists to ever touch this earth.
Because he can
He can
sing,
sing, he
he
can
can
dance,
dance.
The
He
dude
can
can draw,
act.
he can act, he can play
Really?
basketball. Like that dude is
What?
God gave that dude like I thought
Many
God blessed me with
abilities.
talents. Like
Yeah,
he blessed
yeah.
that dude with so many different abilities and so many different
Oh,
talents.
wow.
And
Wow.
you know, I'm not gonna say he squandered it. I
Yeah,
wouldn't go that far to say he squandered it. Because he's
yeah,
still super talented.
yeah.
But
I think
it
he
just
just doesn't realize where it comes from.
yeah.
And, once his perspective change about where his talents come from,
Mhm.
then he can better utilize it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
wow.
is that your answer? That was that one of your answer to the question?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mine too.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to definitely have to have a part 2.
Yeah.
I
Because
didn't
it's
think I like
so
music that much to
see
talk
when you
about it
start
that much.
talking about it, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
so much stuff that I didn't talk about. You know, I could talk a whole hour about Lil Wayne alone. You know,
Yes,
um,
yes.
I could talk a lot about just the influences from Southern rap music, from Outkast to the impact that Atlanta had on the music industry, and you
Mhm.
know people think the gold is. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna always say this. I'm gonna forever say this. I love Kendrick. I love Cole, but the greatest rapper of all time is Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. Period.
Mm.
Dot.
And your daddy say, "It's who?"
Oh, he said LL Cool J. I ain't got nothing. He can't talk to me about music
Or
no more.
Rakim.
All right. Well, yeah, he say Rakim. I can give him that.
Yeah,
I can give
yeah,
him Rakim. Rakim was before his time. Rakim was an amazing lyricist.
yeah.
Um, LL Cool J had his moment. LL Cool J had his impact on hip hop, but LL Cool J is
Mhm.
not the greatest rapper of all time.
Okay, we have to get your daddy on the
Hmm.
part 2 then.
Yeah, and Aaliyah too to talk about her love for Beyonce and
Oh, yeah,
and how me
exactly.
and her dissect Beyonce's music and stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. All right, my honey bunch.
All right, man. Well, uh, obviously we ain't talked like super deep on this one. But like we said before, we just be talking, just having conversations. Hopefully
Mhm.
y'all take something from it, or y'all can just enjoy it and think back to like what music like resonates with you and how music has helped shape your life.
Yes.
And but appreciate it. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Peace
Peace.
out. God bless.
Peace out.